Today's book report is actually two books. One of them is American Barns and Covered Bridges by Eric Sloan, and the other is Building the Hewn Log House by Charles Mcraven. Let's start with Building the Hewn Log House by Charles Mcraven. Okay, there's it says paintings by James Burkhart, photographs by Linda Moore Mcraven and the author, illustrations by Chandis Ignathron and the author. It was published by the Thomas Y. Crowley Publishers, established in 1834 in New York. The book was dedication to Linda, who helped building our log house in the woods, and to Amanda, who is growing up in it. The book is over 200 pages long. Here's an example of some of the chapters. Pioneer building, restoration, land and site, design, acquiring materials, the foundation, hewing, notching, log raising, the roof, stone fireplace, floors, windows and doors, porch, lean-to loft, water supply, and waste disposal. This is a sample of some of the chapters in the book. The book is full of illustrations and photographs. Here's some illustrations of some different ways of notching your logs. Here's some photographs of the author working on a log home, hoisting up some logs there, notching out the logs. This is a great book. If anybody's thinking of possibly building their own log home, this would be a great book to acquire. Got the roofing with shingles. There's your stone fireplace. Some photographs of different stone fireplaces. Illustrations. The book is Building the Hewn Log House by Charles Mcraven. The next book is American Barns and Covered Bridges by Eric Sloan. American Barns and Covered Bridges, Eric Sloan, published by the Wilfred Funk Incorporated and copyrighted in 1954. Here's an example of some of the chapters: the wood, the tools, the barns, the bridges. The chapter The Wood starts out with this Walt Whitman poem. I'll read a little bit of it for you. The log at the wood pile, the axe supported by it. The Sullivan hut, the vine over the doorway, the space cleared for a garden. The irregular tapping of rain down on the leaves after the storm is lulled. The wailing and moaning at intervals, the thought of the sea. The thought of ships stuck in the storm and put out their beam ends. And the cutting away of masts. The sediment of huge timbers, of old-fashioned houses and barns. Here's some illustrations on how to cut your boards out of a log. Here's some different fence types. Here's a sap bucket. The different woods that were used for different applications. And here we've got a little bit about broad axes and axes for felling trees, draw knives, adzes, augers. We've got some wedges, some wood braces, some planes. Here's some saws. and all packed with information. Here's some log sleds and all sorts of stuff in there. The chapter of the barn starts out with this Lewis Evans poem from 1753. It is pretty to behold our back settlement where the barns are as large as palaces, while the owners live in log huts, a sign of thrifty farming. Here's some illustrations of different types of barns, tobacco barns, Western style barns. The chapter of the bridges starts with this Charles Dickens from 1842. We crossed a river by a wooden bridge, roofed and covered on all sides, and nearly a mile in length. It was profoundly dark, perplexed with great beams, crossing and recrossing at every possible angle. And though the broad chinks and crevices in the floor, the rapid river gleamed far down below. Like a legion of eyes, we had no lamps, and as the horses stumbled and floundered through this place towards the distant speck of dying light, it seemed interminable. I really could not at first persuade myself as we rumbled heavily on, filling the bridge with hollow noises, and I held my head down to save it from the rafters above. But that I was in a painful dream, for I had often dreamed of toiling through such places, and as often argued, even at this time, this cannot be reality. And this chapter's on the bridges. It's got some illustrations of covered bridges, floating bridges, toll houses. It's got some different bridges up in Connecticut, some illustrations of that. Different ways to support the bridges. More illustrations on how to build a bridge. It's even got a gallery here of some bridges throughout the country. So there you have it, American Barns and Covered Bridges. Two books that might be of interest to any of you would-be homesteaders or someone interested in building their own log house or barn, or maybe just somebody that's just interested to see how it was done. Until next time, take care. Thanks for watching.